you guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So today we are in the kitchen with a brand new subscription box to show you guys. I am super excited about this. This is the WildGrain box. Do you want to know what's in my box? Stay tuned. All right, you guys. So this is the August box. It just arrived. They did send me this for review. So thank you so much for sending me your box to show my viewers. I greatly do appreciate it. So you guys, this company actually got a hold of me and they asked if I'd be willing to show you guys a box. And after looking at what this is, because I've never heard of this company before, I was like, how do I say yes any quicker? Oh my goodness. So this again is the WildGrain box. This is a subscription box that now I know. When I was telling my mom, I was waiting for UPS to come because this is food in here and there's supposed to be dry ice. So I really wanted to get the box today instead of like maybe tomorrow. So I was talking to my mom and I was like, I'm waiting for UPS to come so I can leave work. And I was telling her about it. And so she goes right on and is looking up this company as we're talking. She's like, oh, you can do it every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, or every 6 weeks. I'm like, I didn't even know that. So with this one, you can do every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, or every 6 weeks, depending on how much you would like a delivery sent to you, which I actually like that you have that option. So what I like to do with the box when I first bring it to my channel is to tell you all about it first, so then we can kind of see what we're going to expect once we do dive in. So with this one, they actually did generate my own code, and you guys, the first 50 people get $30 off of their very first box. That's right, the first 50 that sign up with my code get this box $30 off. Once those first 50 have used it, then it goes down to the normal only $10 per box. So if you do watch this, you think this is something that you would like to bring for you or your family, definitely grab it. Try to get the first 50 so you get $30 off. That's amazing, limited time. So I'm so glad that they offered that for you guys. So with that, you would use Shecrafty. Shecrafty will get you $30 off. Once the first 50 do use it, then it'll bump it down to the normal $10 off for the box, for your first box. So the information again about this box: meet the first Bake from Frozen membership for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and or fresh pastas delivered directly to your door. So if you heard that right, that sold me. You said pasta, you said pastries, and you said sourdough. Yes, 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 yes. Give me some more. Oh, and my code also right now will get you free croissants for life. Like, as long as you keep your subscription active, you will have, I think, 4 free croissants in every single box. So that's awesome as well. So for this one, you have 2 different options. You can choose the mix box, which will come with breads, pastas, and pastries, or you can choose the bakery box, which will come with bread and pastries, no pasta. So I do like that there is 2 different options in case you don't want the pasta, but you definitely want the breads and the pastries. They have you covered with both options. This is $89 per box. You get free US delivery. It's eco packaging and dry ice in every single box. So free US shipping. No thawing, freezer to table in 25 minutes or less. No commitment. You can reschedule, you can skip, or you can cancel at any given time. Support the best small bakeries in the country. Enjoy the very best from the top bakers and pasta makers in the US, and support small businesses and responsible sourcing. They also give back, which is amazing. I love when companies give back because then we're all helping each other. So for this one, every 1 new membership will be 6 new meals delivered. So for every new WildGrain member, we will donate 6 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank. So 6 meals get donated for every new sign up. Awesome. It's vegetarian, clean ingredients, unbleached flour, non-GMO, no artificial colors, source of fiber. This just sounds, like I said, I couldn't say yes fast enough. Once I went to their website and saw pastas, I saw breads, I saw pastries, I'm like, oh, okay, yes. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's see what's going to be in this box. Then I'm going to be cooking it, and then I will tell you my final opinion on everything that is in here, but I'm already thinking I'm gonna love it. So it does come in this box, which is also wrapped which I've never seen. I kind of feel like it might keep it cooler that way. I'm not quite sure, but I do like that at least if the box gets any condensation or anything, it's not going to seep through, where a lot of food boxes, if they get wet, they don't have that protection. So I like that. Toss that for now. So there should be some dry ice, or there should be a bag where dry ice was, but I did get an email stating, you know, your box is coming, what to expect, what to look for, and as long as it feels like it just came from a refrigerator, it's 100% okay. So, ooh, you do have this nice thick padding. I'm gonna bring you in here because there is definitely dry ice, and I want you to be able to see all of this. Ooh, all of this padding is definitely different. I've never seen this thick of padding inside, and I have used several different food subscriptions and I've never seen anything this good. So let me bring you closer to see the inside. Okay, so this is what it looks like down inside. Again, this is really, really thick padded, like insulation. This is what I was saying I've never seen before. And that is also on the top lid when you close it down. So when you open it up, there's the dry ice that is still in here. Be very careful when you are grabbing this. So there's, ooh, I'm just gonna set this in my sink for now. And then back in the box, there is all of the goods. So everything is definitely still frozen, and it is literally like 100 degrees in Florida, and it is definitely after 5 o'clock, and this has been on the truck all day. So kudos to the packing. So here are the 4 croissants, and this is what you would get free in every single box if you use my code limited offer. So we have some croissants. Is there, oh, and there's all instructions and everything on the back. So it tells you baking instructions, do not thaw, bake from frozen. Perfect. You also have a thank you card. There's even more ice packs down in this side too. Wow, all right. So down in here is going to be the 6-pack of chocolate chip cookies, and oh my gosh, look how thick those are. Those are going to be some good cookies. Like literally, look at my finger compared to how thick these are. So back inside of the box, we have some tortellini pasta, fresh pasta. I'm super, super excited about this. And there's the simple instructions right there on the front. Next up, we have a fettuccine. Ooh. So now we have is the sourdough harvest blend. And look at that big old sourdough loaf. And now we have sourdough bread. Oh, that is awesome. There's actually like a bread loaf. And that's one thing that I actually missed at the store was to get bread. So things happen for a reason. And then here we have is slow fermented 3-seed bread. I have another loaf of bread. So good thing I didn't buy bread. Look at that. So that is everything that came in this box. You have these big cookies. You have the fresh pasta, fresh croissants. You have the bread and the 2 loaves of bread even. I'm super excited to start cooking and eating. Okay, so I am back to finalize with this WildGrain box that I received. I've had time now to cook everything, taste everything, sample everything, and now I can sit down and tell you what our opinions are going to be. So first off, I think this is super, super neat. I really love the fact that you can get fresh made pastas and pastries and breads sent directly to your home. I love that first and foremost. So going over all of the different items, what I did is I kind of just saved all of the instructions from each one so I can tell you how it was prepared, or how you do prepare it, how simple you do prepare it, I should say. And then I will tell you about that specific thing and what we thought about it as we were eating it. Okay, so first I'm gonna go through is the 2 different pastas. Again, it was fettuccine and tortellini. So the fettuccine, it says literally little ribbons. Our fresh pasta are made with a rough, porous surface that makes the sauce perfectly cradled in each strand. We love them with a meat ragu or a pesto sauce. Ooh, it would have been really good with a pesto sauce. Ooh. This one here, the quick and easy cooking instructions. And with all of these, you keep it all in the freezer until you're ready to use it. Just like if you're making the breads, preheat your oven. Once it's ready, put it right in. So you cook them frozen. So this one here, it says again, keep frozen. Boil salted water in a large pot, ideally 8 quarts. I didn't use a whole 8 quarts, but I used a large size pan. Gently add the frozen pasta, stirring frequently to separate. Cook 6 to 8 minutes until desired tenderness. Drain well in a colander and serve with your favorite sauce. Tip, add a cup of pasta water to your sauce to make it extra creamy. And enjoy. And it does say right here, make sure the water is at a strong rolling boil. If it cools to a simmer when you put the pasta in, wait for it to return to a full boil before you start keeping time. So there's a little caution there in the middle with a quick little tip for you. Now this one here, the fettuccine, I made pretty much like a chicken Alfredo type of a situation. So I put in some chicken, some Alfredo sauce, and some broccoli, and it was, oh my gosh, so good. I think I've only tried, normally the easiest thing for me to cook here at my house is the spaghetti noodles, thin, regular, whatever you would like. Any of those, angel hair, I'm good with. The small little bow tie pasta things that you can buy, I'm okay with. Anything else, I can never really get it to come out right or taste right. Either I'm overcooking it or undercooking it. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe it's the pasta in general. I don't know. But the tortellini and the fettuccine pasta was like the best pasta that I have ever cooked from my own kitchen. I felt super, super fancy. I'm like, I made that. It just was a whole new experience for me to have this type of pasta and me cooking it myself in my kitchen. I really, really did enjoy it. So with both of the pastas, all three of us really did enjoy the pasta itself. If you just take away the sauce and whatever you had with it, just thinking of just the pasta itself, and that's what I was telling them. Don't think of everything else, just think of just the pasta first. And they were like, it's cooked perfectly. It's just, it was like a fresh pasta. I don't know if it would be like a straight, like somebody just made me a fresh pasta and cooked it, because it was frozen, but it was the best pasta that's came out of my chicken. Out of my kitchen, that's for sure. So now the tortellini. The tortellini was like a spaghetti noodle pretty much. So with that one, I did like a chicken marsala sauce on top of it just to do something quick and easy. This one here for the cooking instructions, it says, again, keep frozen. Boil salted water in a large pot, ideally 8 quarts. Gently add the frozen pasta, stirring frequently to separate. Cook 6 to 8 minutes until desired tenderness. Drain well in a colander and serve with your favorite sauce. And the same tips apply to this one as well. You can add a cup of pasta water to your sauce to make it creamier. And it also says make sure it is a roiling boil when you do put the noodles in before you start keeping track of time. So again, both of those were extremely good. I was super impressed with both of them. And even just the regular, like the tortellini, which is mainly, again, like a spaghetti noodle, that was, I could tell, a big difference from the normal spaghetti. I like making spaghetti and I do that quite often, but I could tell a big difference in the noodle itself, and it was a lot better in my opinion. Now, let me go with these chocolate chip cookies. Oh my gosh, let me first say they were large and in charge. I thought I was cooking some hockey pucks or something. I'm like, holy moly. And then when I showed our uncle when he came over, I was like, look at these cookies that I'm gonna make, because he is a huge chocolate lover. You say chocolate, he's like, what? He'd be dead asleep, he hears chocolate. What? So I was like, look at these cookies that I'm gonna be making tonight. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's just one cookie right there? I was like, yeah. He goes, I thought maybe it was layered. No. That is one cookie, sir. So this one says, made with love and butter, our cookies are the pinnacle of what a desiccant cookie can be. 30% chocolate, crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. We love with a dollop of ice cream. Oh my gosh, that would have been amazing. But these cookies were so good. It was quick and easy to bake them as well. It says do not thaw, bake from frozen. Preheat the oven at 350. Place the frozen cookies on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Put in the oven on the middle rack and bake for 16 to 20 minutes until browned on the edges. Let it sit for at least 5 minutes. Carefully remove the cookies and enjoy. And oh my gosh, did we definitely enjoy these. One, when I think I put it for the 16 just to kind of eye it to know, and I know they were huge, large, and in charge. So I guessed it was going to take longer than the 16 minutes, and it did. When I looked, I was like, a little unsure, so I put it back in for 2 more minutes. I believe it was 2 more minutes, so it was 18 minutes total that I cooked the cookies, and Even the next day, 2 days later when we ate the last one, it was still super, super soft on the inside. It had the nice little perfect crispiness on the outside edge, but the inside, the main cookie was so soft and good. And even his uncle even made the comment, oh my gosh, because when he came over like a few days later, we just cut that last one in half and shared it. He goes, this is the same cookie. It's still super, super soft like you just made it. I'm like, I know, right? And when I first tasted it, and I hate comparing things because everybody has their own lane, I think, but what I am going to say, the first bite that I took, I was like, oh my gosh, it brought me back to my childhood, walking the malls with my mom, and she would take me to Mrs. Fields and buy me a cookie that I could eat while I was walking around. And that was like the most exciting thing to me because that was like the best chocolate chip cookie that I've ever eaten up until that point, you know? So when I had this, it just brought me back to having that amazing, just ooey gooey, just the most delicious cookie that I've ever had. So those are amazing. The croissants, holy moly, those were large in charge as well. I have never had a croissant so large, but it was so flaky and like buttery, and it was just delicious. So for the croissants, and that's what you would get free in your box every time with my code, is the free croissants. So that is really good because they are amazing. Our croissants are full-bodied, flaky, and crispy on the outside with melt-in-your-mouth goodness on the inside. We love them warm for breakfast or brunch. They are so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so quick and easy instructions. Preheat your oven to 380. Place frozen croissants on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Put in the middle rack and bake for 18 to 22 minutes until dark golden brown. Let cool for 5 minutes and enjoy. It does say check oven periodically to make sure the croissants are not over baking. I let them go the full 18 because they had a nice little crispy, like golden brown tone to the top of it. So I'm like, these have got to be good. And oh my gosh, they were just super buttery, flaky, they were so good. Okay, so now what's left is going to be the breads. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you from, because I kind of enjoyed all three of them, to be honest, and my man did not like one of them. So I will start with that one first, and then I will go with our second favorite, or at least my second favorite, and then our all-time favorite out of the 3 different breads that were in this box. So the first one is the sourdough harvest bread. This one I thought was super, super interesting because when I cut into it, like when I first was baking it, it looked like there was a cranberry on top. And then when I cut into it, there's like cranberries. There's some other thing that looks like more of like a whiter color, not like a burgundy, like a cranberry color. It was more of like a white. Let me see. Oh, okay, here we go. Sourdough starter, whole wheat and whole flour, water, pecans, cranberries, apricots, figs, candied ginger, and salt. Okay, so there is no raisins in here. My man, because I don't like raisins, he's like, I'm surprised you like it because there's raisins. I'm like, that wasn't raisins, that was cranberries. He goes, there was raisins. No, there wasn't raisins. No, there wasn't. I'm going to save this one to show him. There was no raisins in that. The apricot would be like that. The one I was trying to say was more of like a white consistency, but it was just so good to have all of that stuff inside, baked inside of the bread, not just on like the top layer. So to me, I really did enjoy this one. His uncle really did enjoy it. My man did not. He said that it had just like a huge flour taste, a not good memory of something I guess that he had as a child, but he just, for some reason, just thought this tasted way too floury of a flavor, but his uncle and myself did not get that taste. So again, here's 3 different opinions. One, this was his least favorite because he said it had too much of a flour taste. So for this one, you start off by cooking. You preheat your oven at 450. Put the frozen loaf on the middle rack without a baking sheet. Bake for 18 to 24 minutes until crust is dark golden brown. Let it cool for 30 minutes to finish the baking process. So don't forget that. It needs to cool for 30 minutes after it bakes to finish cooking. Then you enjoy. It does have a little tip here that says check oven periodically to make sure your loaf is not over baking. And for softer crust, bake covered in foil with an extra 5 minutes uncovered. This one I kind of wish I would have covered it with the foil just to see, but I didn't have 2 of the same loaves, you know, just to compare one versus the other because they were all 3 different. But I just cooked it the regular way for the first 2, and then the last one I did cover it. So again, this one, I really did enjoy it. It didn't seem like it was too hard of a crust on the top. The inside was nice and soft and moist with all of that fruits and nuts and everything. To me, it was just a really, really good bread. Again, my man didn't care for it, but I sure as hell did. Then the next one is going to be the sourdough bread. This one says to bake it, you preheat your oven at 450, put the loaf on the middle rack without a baking sheet, and bake for 18 to 24 minutes until the crust is dark golden brown. And then for this one, once you pull it out of the oven, it needs to sit for 20 minutes to finish the baking process, and then you can enjoy it. This one here, we did slice it up. I had my man cut it while I was recording, and of course, he always makes a mess. He says his middle name should just be Messy, and I agree. He can just come and just stir one thing on the stove for me and makes a mess. It's just what happens. So he was cutting it and bread pieces are flying away, and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, here we go. When I cut the other ones, it was a little bit different because I was going slower and I didn't make as much of a mess. But this one, there was little pieces of the bread flying all over the place while he was cutting it. But we did slice this one up. We made sandwiches with it for lunch one day. We put some butter, toasted it up for our dinner some nights. So we definitely did use it in different ways, but I really did enjoy that one. It was just a really nice bread, and it just reminds me of something that I would buy at the bakery instead of like, you know, the normal aisle where you get the bread, but you get like the good soft bakery bread at the bread section. That's what it reminded me of. So that one we did like it. Again, we made some sandwiches. We had it on the side with dinner. It was really good, but our favorite is the slow fermented 3-seed bread. This one here was really, really good, and it had a lot of nuts and stuff in it. Does it tell me? It says whole wheat and whole flour, yeast, water, millet, poppy seed, sesame seed, pumpkin seeds, honey, and salt. So I really like the pumpkin seeds, the poppy seeds, the sesame seeds. This one definitely reminded me of at our local Publix bakery. That's all sliced up, pre-sliced. That's what this one looks like. That's what this one almost tastes like, but I think this one's a little bit better because I really, really love all those other seeds inside of the bread, not just the top. The bread that I thought was good, just the top has some seeds on it, but once you cut into it, there's nothing inside the actual bread whatsoever, where this one, those seeds are baked inside of the actual loaf. There's a full-on seeds inside the loaf. Now, last night we just put some butter on it and we had it with our dinner, which was phenomenal. This morning, I went ahead and toasted some up and put some jam on it and had it with our oatmeal. It was so good. So this is definitely our favorite. For the instructions on this one, you preheat at 400, put the loaf on the middle rack without a baking sheet, bake 18 to 20 minutes until the crust is golden brown. And then this one needs to cool for an additional 20 minutes after to finish the baking process. Now this one I did cover with foil this time because I wanted to know the difference, because the other ones, they were a little bit harder when cutting and slicing them. So I wanted to see what the difference was going to be when we cover it with foil. And it cut so much better. That one was the least messiest when slicing. And I think it just made it a lot more softer on the inside with a nice slight crunchy on the outside. So to me, that would be probably the way that I would prefer to cook the bread, so it doesn't get too hard on the outside edges. But you can definitely try either one so you know which way you would like it. But I do like that they do give you that little pro tip on there. So if you do want it a little softer bread, you know how to make it differently so it'll be your consistency. So that is everything. Again, the cookies were absolutely amazing. The croissants were amazing. I loved the pasta, and I really did enjoy having the bread because it was freshly baked bread. Like I said, like I go to the store to buy in the bakery section because that's the type of bread that I really like. So this was really, really neat getting. I really enjoyed cooking all of this fresh pastas and pastries and all of that from my own home. So I really did enjoy that. Don't forget, if you are interested and you wanted to sign up, there is that limited time offer for the first 50 people that sign up. You get $30 off your very first box, and then it'll bump it down after that first 50 have claimed them. It'll bump it down to $10 off your first box. But oh my goodness. And don't forget, there is the free shipping on the box as well for US deliveries. So there is everything that I have to say and tell you about this box. Again, it was so neat trying out all of this different stuff. Definitely something I've never seen before. So it was so neat to me to see everything, cook everything, taste everything, and I am super, super impressed. So there you go. Comment down below. Let me know, have you heard of this company? Have you seen this before? Let me know. I haven't, and I'm so glad now that I have, because it was so good. And oh my gosh, those cookies though, and the croissants, I'm going to say the cookies were my favorite out of the entire box. Of course. So again, that is everything for this video. Comment down below your positive interaction. It means the world, and I greatly do appreciate it, as I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. So until next time, you know that drill. Keep a smile on that gorgeous face of yours, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Crafty crew, out.